Hi, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs, and my project for today is this long box that holds a Russell Stover chocolate bar. I've seen these in CVS, Walmart, Target, and Dollar Tree, so they're all over. They're a bit bigger than a Hershey bar. You'd have a lot of room left over if you just put a regular Hershey bar in. I used, for the image, I used Warm and Toasty Stamp sets, Hippo and Friends dies for these two labels here. The scallop is from the Little Treat Box dies. I used a 1 3/8 inch circle punch. 'Tis the Season Designer Series paper. This is Real Red Braided trim, and this is metallic mesh ribbon. Okay, so that's most of the things that I use in this project. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of Real Red that is 8.5 by 6 5/8. And we're going to start with the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1.5, 1 7/8, 8 and 1/8. Okay, turn it to the 6 5/8 side, and we're going to score it at 3/8, 3 1/8, 3.5. and 6 1/4. Okay. All right, now we're going to fold and burnish. These are 3/8 inch little strips, so you might have to fold them a little before you go in with the bone folder, just so you don't bend them because they're so thin. Okay. And this is what we're going to do here. All right, we're going to use this circle die from the Stitched Circle Dies, Stitch Shapes. I forgot to mention that one. And we're using the largest circle. Okay. So first let's cut it apart. All right. So we're going to come down with the largest strip on the top. That is 1.5 inches up here, and then there's a 3/8 inch down at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go and take this corner square and get rid of it and wedge the one above it. And then we're just going to cut the rectangle straight and take a little tiny wedge out of the squares. Okay, then we're going to turn it around so that the 1.5 inch rectangles are toward me. And the side we're going to keep, the flap we're going to keep, is the side that we wedged up on this long skinny rectangle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the size of this rectangle straight and go past and cut that little square right there, and then cut off just that top. And then we're going to wedge the squares. That square. Okay? Now on this side, we're going to keep the flap straight. Okay? And cut straight on this one. We're going to get rid of this, but we need to get to this square. And we're going to cut off the top rectangle and wedge the sides of that square. Okay, and then we're just going to get rid of everything. We're going to get rid of this rectangle, this skinny rectangle, this square, and this rectangle. Cut it straight across. Okay. Okay. So that is what you're left with. Okay. All right, now in order to get this on our flap, I used that largest circle from the stitched shapes. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this as skinny as we can. All right. I don't know if I can make it. That's good enough. And then what we're going to do is we want to cut right there. Okay. So we're going to put it through with the cutting side down through the circle, just so that just up to where you will see it will cut this edge right here. All right. So I'm going to put it like that. I'm just going to take a piece of washi tape that I've used several times so it won't. Okay, now when we go into the machine, we only want to go to about right here. Okay, it won't cut below that, but it will make bumpy marks and we don't want that. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so let me take this piece off. And slip that, and then there we have our half circle kind of flap, just like that. Okay? All right. Okay, so now for our DSP, I use the 'Tis the Season 6x6 Designer Series paper, and we need two that are 2.5 by 6 inches, and they're going to go right here and here. Okay, and then what I did with a scrap, I took a 2.5 inch circle punch, and I just cut probably 3/4 of a circle. All right, and then we're going to put it down here, and we just want it inside the stitching. Okay, so I put it inside the stitching, and then I take a pencil, and I'm going to mark on both sides where I want it to be cut. I mean, if you cut it a little short or a little long, it's really not a big deal. All right, I'm going to put it in, and making a line at both sides will help me keep this straight. Okay. Oopsie, I missed a little bit. I left a little bit of that line there. Okay. All right, so that should fit right in there, yeah. Okay. Now you can leave it plain red if you want to. You don't have to do that. Or you can leave this as a square, maybe just round the corners, and you don't have to have this stitched edge right there. All right, so I need my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put our DSP on. It might be easier for this piece to use liquid glue because you can move it a little bit if you're not 100% sure of where you want to put it. And this is great because it just uses the two pieces of this, and you just need a little scrap for the top. You can leave that completely empty, just red, and you only need one piece, not even the scrap left over. Okay, and I'm just going to put these on. Okay. now this is going to be our front. So we're going to put some tear and tape on the inside of the flap that is opposite our top flap. Okay, on that little side piece. We're going to put some tear and tape on there. I'm just going to line it up so that it is nicely flush with the edge. Okay. And now I have another one of the bars, and I'll stick it in. And I've also seen this in the Snoopy, which I haven't seen this year, but I have seen it before. The Snoopy characters on the top, on the front, and just a Santa face too. Alright, so this is going to be like this. So we need tear and tape on this because that's our front. I really didn't need to put that bar in there yet. Alrighty, so I need it on this one. So I'm just going to fold this back out of my way so I could see this part better. Okay, we could put that on before, and it is the inside of the the bottom flap that is on the opposite side of this flap, if you wanted to do it before. Okay, so then we'll put our side flaps in, put down the back, and then just try to make this square as possible. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we can put our chocolate bar in. Alright, and now we need some of the slim Velcro dots. I got mine from Walmart.com. And I'm going to take one side and put it right in the middle, right there, and press it down well. And then take the other side. Whoops, I got two. Sometimes they're connected. Okay. I'm going to put the other one with the loop tape, the sticky towards me, towards the outside. I'm going to make sure this is nicely square and then push it down, which I can do because I have my bar in there now. And then it will secure it like this. Now, instead of using these strips, what you can do, I attached these bows with glue dots, but you could just tie it around. Maybe just do one and take this and just tie it around the whole thing, and then you wouldn't need to have any type of closure, any magnet or Velcro. All right, now for the decoration, I used Real Red, and this is another piece of the same 'Tis the Season Designer Series paper. These are both layering shapes from the Hippo and Friends dies. This circle is from the Little Treat Box dies, this scallop, and this is also the same paper as this, and it is a 1 3/8 inch circle. You could use 1 1/2, but it almost covers up the stitching on this. So, because we don't carry this anymore, I don't know why. I really wish that especially the little circle punches, that they really didn't get rid of, because they're very useful. So maybe they'll bring some of them back. Okay, I'm just putting some liquid glue on here, and I'm just going to press it on, and I'm going to put it to the side and let that dry. Okay, and this I'm going to do the same. My hands are really sticky. My fingers. just going to place this there. I'm going to let that piece dry. Okay, now for our image. I already stamped this. It's from Warm and Toasty Stamp Set, and it's the reindeer. And I stamped it about 45 minutes ago, so it will be nice and dry. Okay, now I need some of my Stampin' Blends. Okay, and we'll do the reindeer body first, and this is light and dark shaded, no, soft suede. Okay, and I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of the dark. I'm going to put a little bit, just a tiny bit at the edge on the bottom of his ears, and a little bit down by his chin. And then I'm just going to shade in the bottom where his hoofs and the fur meet. Okay, and then I'm just going to go up the back. And just a little bit on the bottom of the tail. And we can put a little bit right here on the bottom of his belly. Alright, I'm not going to go too crazy shading. Alrighty. And then I take the light and I just kind of shade out the dark parts and color the rest. Just kind of go over, circle over the parts I put the dark on. And then I just color in the rest. You can get really, really fancy, but I'm not a fancy colorer. I do the minimum. Okay, and that's it for his body. I took light crumb cake for his antlers. And I used light and dark Real Red. Just a little bit of no, actually just a little bit of Real Red. I just put a little bit, like a dot in the middle of each part of that top bow. And then I just colored in the rest with the Real Red. Okay, and for his hooves, I used light smoky slate. I put little initials with my my labeler, but there's so many that are the same initials. So it takes me a minute to realize this is not shaded spruce, it's smoky slate. Okay, and that's it. And then I'm going to fussy cut this, and I'll be right back. Okay, and if you didn't want to fussy cut, you could just put this on. Just stamp it on white, on Whisper White, and put it on like that after you colored it. I'm going to just do this. Okay, I don't know which one I like better, actually. Either one looks very good. Okay, so I'm going to put some liquid glue, sorry, on the reindeer. and now I'm gonna, this one I put him on flush, but I think I want him on dimensionals this time. Okay, this one I am going to pop up on dimensionals. Okay, I'm just going to put them towards the bottom, just like that. Okay, now we need the mesh ribbon and the braided linen trim. Okay, let's just make a bow with the mesh ribbon. Alrighty. Okay. And then we need a piece of the braided trim. I'm just going to make another bow. Okay, and I'm going to take our sentiment scallop and I'm going to punch a hole in the top. And I'm going to take some of the baker's twine. I'm just going to loop it through this scallop. Okay, and then I'm going to tie it around the mesh ribbon and tie it in the back. Okay, I'm going to double knot it, and then I'm just going to cut it short. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to get my glue dots. And I'm going to put 3 back here just to keep the bow on nicely. And now we're just going to put it right in the middle of our top. I'm going to adjust the size of these. Okay. And then I'm going to take this bow and put probably just one on there. And put that over that bow so that we have a nice full 2-color bow. Kind of fix it up. Alrighty. And then I'm just going to trim these. Okay. And then for the final touch, I'm just going to use some Wink of Stella on the bow of the reindeer. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you need any of these supplies, I would love it if you would purchase them from me. My address is at the top of the screen, katherinetiemann.stampinup.net. And I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you next time. Bye.